Welcome to Needy Cat Crafts. To make this simple colorwork heart hat, let's start with a long tail cast on. Using the darker shade of pink, I'm putting a slip knot on my circular needles, and here's the long tail and my working yarn. Then you want to hold both strands in your hand, just like this. And then you're going to separate the strands with these two fingers, rotate your hand, and then you're going to put your needle under this strand right here, over this strand, and then you're going to pull through that opening, and now we've cast on a stitch. Do that again, separate the strands, rotate your hand, put your needle under this strand, over that one, pull through that opening, and now we've cast on another stitch. So you want to keep doing this process until you have 81 stitches on your needles. So here are my 81 stitches on my circular needles, and I want to point out that all of the stitches are facing the same direction. My working yarn is going to be on my right needle. So to join in the round, I'm going to take this stitch on this left needle and put it on the right needle, just like this. And then I'm going to take this now second stitch and bring it over the first one that I brought over and off of the needle. And then I'm just going to tighten it a little bit. And now we've joined in the round. Next, place your stitch marker so we know when the row starts and ends. And for the brim of the hat, the pattern is going to be knit 2, purl 2. So here I'm knitting for the second time. I'm going to bring that yarn forward and I'm going to purl 2. So you're going to continue this pattern all the way around, knit 2, purl 2. And when you get to the end of the row, move your stitch marker and continue knitting 2 and purling 2. For the brim of this hat, we want to complete 30 rows if you want the brim to fold up. If you don't care about the brim folding up, just do 15 rows. But here we go, I've completed 30 rows. Now let's take a look at the colorwork chart real quick. The numbers going along the right side are the number of rows, and the numbers going along the bottom are the knit stitches going around the hat. The chart is read from right to left, bottom to top. Each box represents a knit stitch. So let's take a look at row 1. Starting from right to left, the first 8 stitches are dark pink, and then the next 8 stitches are light pink. When we complete row 1, we will go back and complete row 1 4 more times. The finished hat will show 5 of these hearts going around. That's why each row needs to be completed 5 times before moving on to the next row. Now let me actually show you row 1. So remember, going right to left, we're starting with 8 dark pink stitches. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we want to introduce the light pink yarn. So here's my light pink. All I'm going to do is keep kind of a long tail, and I'm just holding that yarn with my middle finger like this. I'm going to drop that dark pink yarn and then knit with the light pink. So still reading the chart, we need 8 light pink stitches. Here's 6, 7, 8. So row 1 has been completed. I have 8 stitches of dark pink, 8 stitches with the light pink. Now we want to complete row 1 again. So we're going to bring up this dark pink yarn, make sure the light pink stitches are spread out just a little bit, holding that dark pink yarn with my middle finger, I'm just going to continue with row 1 again. So I need 8 dark pink stitches. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to continue with 8 light pink stitches. So I'm going to bring up that light pink and complete 8 stitches. And when I'm done with these 8 light pink stitches, I'll have completed row 1 2 times. So to make it all the way around the hat, we want to complete row 1 3 more times. Remember, each row needs to be completed 5 times. So here I'm coming up at the end of row 1 that I've completed 5 times. So I've made it around my hat once with the Colorwork chart. And I wanted to show you, this is why we need to space our stitches out a little bit before bringing up the new color. So that way when the hat is actually on our head, the hat's not going to be too tight and you'll be able to see the pattern really well. So to continue, I'm going to put my stitch marker back in place. Now we're going to look at row 2. Row 2 is the exact same as row 1. So starting from right to left at row 2, we need 8 dark pink stitches. Here's 7. Here's 8. Spread those stitches out just a little bit. Bring up that light pink yarn, and we need 8 more light pink stitches. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Row 2 has now been completed 1 time. We need to complete row 2 4 more times to make it all the way around the hat. Now let's take a look at row 3. We will be starting row 3 with the light pink before bringing up the dark pink. That means the dark pink yarn has a ways to go before I need it again. So I'm going to catch the yarn in a float. You don't have to do this, but it will make the inside look a little nicer. So all I'm going to do is twist the colors together so the light pink kind of holds onto the dark pink. And then I'm just going to continue row 3 just like normal, except I'm starting with 8 light pink stitches this time. So here's 7, here's 8. Now I have them all stretched out. See, we have 16 of the light pink stitches. And I just want to show you where I caught the float. So where I twisted those colors together, right here, you can see it trapped that dark pink to kind of hold it to carry it over. So now we're going to start with the dark pink, finishing up row 3. We need 8 stitches using the dark pink yarn. Here we go. Switching back to the light pink, we're going to continue with row 3 again. And like I said, each row you want to complete 5 times. That way we make it all the way around the hat, and our finished product will have 5 hearts going all the way around. Now let's take a look at row 4. Row 4 is where we see a little bit more color change happening. So starting row 4 right to left, we need 7 light pink stitches. Here's 6, here's 7. Spread those out just a little bit. We're going to bring up that dark pink yarn. We need 1 dark pink stitch. And then we're going to switch back to the light pink. We're going to do 1 light pink stitch. And then to finish row 4, we're going to bring up the dark pink and knit with the dark pink 7 more times. And here we go. Row 4 is completed one time. So we have our 7 light pink, 1 dark pink, 1 light pink, and then 7 more dark pink. And we want to complete row 4 4 more times. So here we go. 7 light pink, then we want to bring up the dark pink and knit 1 time with the dark pink. Moving back to the light pink, we want to knit 1 time and then 7 more times with the dark pink. And that will be row 4 that we've completed 2 times, so we want to complete it 3 more times. And here I've completed all 20 rows. You can see the full colorwork pattern showing here on the body of the hat. And then I don't need that light pink yarn anymore, so I left a long tail and I cut it. Now let's take a look at the top of the hat. We're going to start with 1 row of knit stitches using the dark pink yarn, and then we'll start with our decreases. So for row 2, for the top of the hat, we're going to start our decreases. So we're going to knit 6 and then knit 2 together. So here's 4, here's 5, here's 6, and then the next 2 stitches we're going to knit together. And then once you complete that, you're going to repeat till you get to the end of the row. Knit 6, knit 2 together. For row 3, we're going to knit all stitches, and moving on to row 4, we're going to knit 5 and then knit 2 together. And you want to repeat that to the end of the row. So here's 4, here's 5, and we're going to knit 2 together. Moving on to row 5, we're going to knit all stitches. And then row 6, knit 4 and then knit 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Knit the next 2 stitches together and then repeat that pattern to the end of the row. Row 7, knit all stitches. Row 8, we're going to knit 3 and then knit 2 together. Repeat to the end of the row. Row 9, knit all stitches. Now I'm going to switch to my DPNs because my stitches are becoming a little too tight for these circular needles. So for row 10, we want to knit 2 and then knit 2 together. Knit 2, knit 2 together. So I'm using 4 DPNs for this. So this first needle will have 9 stitches. This one will also have 9 stitches. And this one will have 12 stitches. That's how I kind of divvied up the number of stitches left. So to continue row 11, we're going to knit all of these stitches. And then row 12, we're going to knit 1 and then knit 2 together. Now we can see this needle has 6 left on it, this one has 6 left, and this one has 8 stitches left on it. Moving on, row 13, we're going to knit all stitches. And then row 14 will be knitting 2 together all the way around. And now here you can see we have 3 stitches left on these 2 needles and then 4 left on this one. And for our last row, we're going to knit all of these stitches. Next, I'm going to cut a long tail, and I'm going to put that long tail on a tapestry needle. And then to finish this, I'm going to thread the tapestry needle through the loops and off of the needles. All that's left to do is tighten this tail, and here you can see on the top all of our decreases that we made. I'm just going to put this tapestry needle through the top and weave in all of the ends. Here's what the inside looks like. Flipping it out, what I like to do is just stretch out all of those stitches. And that is our completed hat. Just fold up the brim and that is ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.